You were just petting them. That's the thing. You weren't even looking for it. Your hand ran down their side the way it does 100 times a day, and then it stopped. Because there's a patch there now. Warm, a little bare, the fur thinner than it should be, and the skin underneath pink and raw and hot under your fingers. And you just sat there for a second, hand frozen on your dog, doing the math. How long has this been here? How did I not see it? How long have they been uncomfortable while I was right here next to them? Okay, before we go one single inch further, I need you to understand something. That patch you found, the itching, the chewing, the scratching that jolts them awake at 2 in the morning, that is not the start of the problem. That's the end of it, the last chapter. By the time it shows up on the skin, it's been building somewhere else for weeks. And almost everything the pet store hands you is aimed right at that patch. The end, the symptom, which is exactly why it clears up for a little while and then comes roaring back every single time. I know the loop. I know it too well. The $80 bottle of drops, the vet visit, the pills that work like magic for about 2 weeks and then just quit. You're not doing anything wrong. You've just been handed the wrong map. So today we're using a different one. I'm going to show you how to shut the itch off tonight. Like actually tonight, so both of you finally sleep, using stuff already sitting in your kitchen. Then I'm going to tell you the truth about the natural tick repellent thing you've seen shared 100 times online, what actually works, and what's just a comforting story we all want to believe. And then, this is the one that got me. There's a roughly 3-week window your dog's body gives you, over and over, where you can basically rebuild their skin from the inside out. Most dogs are missing one cheap thing that makes the whole difference. We'll get there. Stay with me for that part. And honestly, if you're the kind of person who finds the bald little patch and immediately starts doing the math on how long your dog's been quietly putting up with it, you already belong here. That instinct, that's the whole channel. So subscribe and stick with me, because we go this deep on your dog every single week. That's just what we do. All right, let's put the fire out. Here's what's actually happening when they won't stop scratching. It's a loop, a real one. The skin gets irritated, so they scratch, and for one glorious second, scratching feels incredible. It releases this little hit of relief in the brain, but the nails tear the skin a tiny bit more, which makes it more irritated, which makes them scratch again, round and round and round. You can't just wait that out. You have to walk in and break the circle yourself. So if your dog's got one of those angry red weepy spots, the ones that seem to show up overnight, we call them hot spots, go grab your coconut oil, the plain, unrefined kind. Scoop a little onto your finger and smooth it gently right over the spot. It cools almost instantly. It lays a soft barrier over the raw skin so it can finally settle. And if they lick it, totally fine. A little goes a long way here. You're dabbing, not frosting a cake. Now, if the problem isn't one spot, if it's a smell, that warm, weirdly corn chip smell coming off their paws or drifting out of their ears, that's a different animal. That's usually yeast. It loves the damp, warm spots between the toes and down inside the ears, and it itches like crazy, which is why they gnaw at their own feet like they've got a personal grudge. For that, a lot of people reach for apple cider vinegar, and diluted, it can genuinely calm things down and cut that smell. Half vinegar, half warm water, never straight. Dip a cotton ball, wipe gently between the toes or along the inside flap of the ear. Let it air dry. But hear me on this part. Do not put vinegar anywhere the skin is raw, cracked, or bleeding. It's an acid. On an open sore, it will burn, and your dog will not forgive you, and honestly, they shouldn't. Smelly and itchy but the skin's still whole? Fine. Broken skin? Hands off. And here's the honest bit most videos skip. If those ears are really gunky, or the smell is strong, or your dog flinches when you touch them, that's not a kitchen job anymore. That's a vet visit. Could be a real infection that needs actual medicine. Could be mites. I'd rather send you to get it looked at than have you dab vinegar on something that needed more. That's the deal I'm making with you in this whole video. I tell you the truth. Even when the truth is, this one's above my pay grade. And what if it's not one spot and it's not the smell, it's just all of it? The whole dog. Red and flaky and miserable after rolling around in the grass? Then run them a bath, but do it exactly right because the details are the whole game. Take plain oats, the boring breakfast kind, and blitz about a cup of them in a blender until they're a fine powder. That powder is the magic. Now here's the part people get backwards. The water has to be cool. Lukewarm at the absolute warmest. Never hot. Hot water pulls blood up to the surface and makes the inflammation worse, not better. You'd be pouring fuel on the fire. Stir the oat powder into the cool water till it goes milky. Sit your dog down in it and just cup that water over them for a solid 10 minutes. The oats settle onto the skin like a calm blanket and quietly pull the heat right out. Then pat them dry. Pat, don't rub. And you get to watch a genuinely relaxed dog, maybe for the first time in a while. Oh, and for the dog who isn't even that itchy, who just chews out of boredom or nerves, hand them a big carrot, frozen. Chewing is how dogs self-soothe. It releases the calm-down chemicals in their brain. The cold feels good, it keeps their mouth busy, and it pulls their attention right off the habit. Cheap little miracle. Okay, fire's out. They're finally asleep on the couch, doing that twitchy little dreaming thing with their paws. Now the part everybody gets wrong. You've seen it. The posts, the reels. Add this to the bowl, and ticks and fleas will literally drop right off your dog. Brewer's yeast, garlic, vinegar, turmeric. The idea being, you change how your dog smells or tastes, and suddenly they're invisible to bugs. A little force field built in your kitchen. And I really, really wish I could stand here and tell you it's true. It's not. Not the way it's sold to you. That whole makes their blood taste bad so the bugs fall off idea, it's actually been tested. Brewer's yeast got studied as a flea repellent, and it just didn't do the job. It's one of those things that sounds so good it spreads faster than anyone can stop and check it. And I'm not going to soften that for you, because this is the one place where a nice-sounding remedy can genuinely hurt your dog. Fleas are miserable, sure. But ticks? Ticks carry disease. Real ones. The kind you cannot undo with a spoonful of anything once your dog's already been bitten. So this is not the place where we experiment and cross our fingers. Here's what is true, though, and it's still good news. Everything we're about to do for their skin, the better food, the healthy fats, it builds a stronger, tougher coat, and skin that's less broken up and less raw for a bug to get into. A healthy dog is a more resilient dog. That's real. It matters. It's just support. It's not a shield. The shield, the thing that actually keeps ticks off, is a real prevention plan. Talk to your vet about what fits your dog and where you actually live, because a dog out in tick country needs different coverage than a dog who never leaves a city block. And then the boring stuff that genuinely works. Run your hands over your dog after every walk through tall grass. Check the sneaky spots, behind the ears, in the armpits, between the toes, right under the collar. Keep your grass cut short. None of it's glamorous, it just works. This isn't me saying chemicals good, kitchen bad. I use the kitchen for about 100 things, and you're about to see why. It's me refusing to be the channel that lets your dog get bitten by something dangerous just because a remedy made a pretty promise. You came here because you love this animal. I'm not going to repay that by lying to you. So if the bug shield isn't in the bowl, then what is the bowl for? Turns out, almost everything. This is where it gets good. Because here's the biological truth nobody ever puts on a thumbnail. A huge amount of that chronic, year-round itching doesn't actually start in the skin at all. It starts in the gut. Stay with me because this is the piece that finally makes the whole thing click. A big chunk of relentless itching is the immune system overreacting. The body treating totally ordinary stuff, like grass and dust, as if it's a threat, and then screaming about it through the skin. And how calm or how cranky that whole system runs. It's shaped, in a real way, by what's going on in the gut. Feed a dog nothing but cheap, dry, starchy food, month after month after month, and things tip out of balance in there. The immune system goes twitchy. And a twitchy immune system shows up as red, angry, itchy skin. So, we help the gut. The easiest thing on earth, a spoonful of plain, unsweetened yogurt or kefir stirred into the food. Or a dollop of pure canned pumpkin. That lays down a layer of the good bacteria that helps settle the overreaction down. But, and please, please do not skip this part. Before you buy any yogurt, flip it over and read the back. You are hunting for one word: xylitol. Sometimes it hides under the name birch sugar. It's an artificial sweetener. It's in a lot of sugar-free and diet yogurts, and to a dog, it is deadly. Not upset tummy deadly, liver failure deadly. From a tiny amount. So, only ever plain, unsweetened, nothing artificial. Read that label like their life depends on it. Because on this one, it genuinely does. Now, the skin itself. To build good skin, you've got to hand the body the raw material. And skin is largely built out of fat. Healthy fat. So we're talking omega-3 fats. The cheapest way in the entire world. A can of sardines packed in water, no salt. Mash one up, mix it in a couple times a week. If your dog turns their nose up at fish, a plain cooked egg does the job. Or a splash of homemade bone broth. Just plain bones, simmered in water, nothing else. And that nothing else is not me being lazy. Never grab the bone broth off the grocery shelf for this. It's loaded with onion and garlic for flavor, and both of those are genuinely toxic to dogs. Make your own, plain, cheap, safe, and their coat will thank you for it. All right, here's the part I promised you, the one that quietly changed how I look at this whole thing. Every few weeks, your dog's body sheds and completely rebuilds its entire outer layer of skin. The whole thing, replaced. Sit with that for a second. It means the coat you're frustrated with right now, the thin, dry, itchy skin you keep finding these patches in, it isn't permanent, it's a rough draft. And every few weeks, your dog's own body hands you a fresh blank page to write a better one. But, and this is the whole thing, it can only build with the materials you give it. If the fats aren't in the bowl, the body's got no choice. It builds thin, dry, brittle skin, the kind that cracks, the kind that itches, the kind that lets every irritant straight through the door. Put the right fats in, and a few weeks from now, you are quite literally growing your dog a stronger coat than the one they're wearing today. Do you see it? You're not treating the itch. You're rebuilding the very thing that itches, from the ground up. And that idea that the skin you've been worrying about is just a draft your dog gets to rewrite over and over, that's the kind of thing that quietly changes how you see the animal on your couch. If it just did that for you, even a little, stick around. Because your dog is going to keep doing things that make you feel something you can't quite put into words. And sitting here, figuring out what those things actually mean, that's the whole reason this channel exists. Now, I've just thrown a lot at you. Coconut oil, vinegar, oats, yogurt, pumpkin, sardines, eggs, bone broth, and I can feel you starting to panic a little, like you're supposed to dump all of it into one bowl tomorrow morning. Please don't. If you pile 7 brand new rich foods into your dog tonight, I can promise you exactly one thing about tomorrow, and it involves the backyard. Here's the whole system, and it's almost stupidly simple. Every day, just pull out a little of their normal food to make room, and add 3 things. 1 skin builder, the egg or the sardine or the broth. 1 gut helper, the spoon of yogurt or the pumpkin. And 1 soothing thing on the days they need it. That's it. You rotate. You don't eat the identical meal every single day, and neither should they. Different day, different combination. 10 extra seconds in the morning. That is the actual cost of all of this. And then you wait. You stay consistent, and you watch. Because a few weeks from now, your hand is going to run down their side again. Same 100 times a day motion. Except this time, the patch is smaller. The fur's filling back in. The skin underneath is calm, not hot. And they're sleeping through the whole night. No jolting awake, no frantic scratching in the dark. And that guilt you felt at the very start of this video, hand frozen on your dog, wondering how long they'd been quietly uncomfortable while you were sitting right there, that turns into something else entirely. Something a whole lot closer to peace. Because here's the truth I really want you to keep. You did not fail your dog by not catching it sooner. You caught it now. You went looking for real answers instead of just refilling the same bottle and hoping. That's not failure. That's love. Doing the unglamorous 10 seconds a day work that nobody claps for. So tonight, go find them. Run your hand down their side, slow, and give them a good, gentle scratch. On the good spot. The one that just makes their back leg go. The one that makes them lean their whole weight into you like you're the best thing that's ever happened to them. Because to them, you are.